Hey, welcome to Instant Reaction. This is the Blue Jay Banner post-game show live here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the share button as well. Make sure you get all your friends and jump aboard here. And please, please, please participate. Either send us a, excuse me, send us a chat, or better yet, send us an email, bjbinstantreaction@gmail.com, and we will get you on the show because I know a lot of people want to vent. They're venting like crazy over on bluejaybanner.com, our rival site message board. So, you want to vent, here's your opportunity. bjb@instantreaction.com. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors. You can see them scroll along the screen down there. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. It's the Bank of Blue Jay Banner. West Pacific Dental Group, Dr. Robert Hogan. And then our newer sponsor, Infusion Brewery. I don't know how many wins we're going to get this year because our team's not very smart. So I'm going to have to start drinking them during losses. So I'm having to let it fly right here, courtesy of Infusion. I think you're going to need to drink a lot of these this year to watch your Creighton Blue Jays. Zach, you look ticked off.
I mean, that wasn't fun. I did not have a good time.
I was totally invested tonight. My wife's like, why are you screaming? I said, tonight I'm going to totally get invested. I'm not just going to sit here and be calm. I'm going to totally invest. And that game was there for the taking. There's no reason we shouldn't have won that game. Just zero. There's something up. There's something. I can't figure it out. I can't figure this team out. There's something wrong. There's something not right. I don't know if it's chemistry. I don't know what it is, but there's something off. And man, we make the dumbest plays at the most inopportune times.
Yep. Murphy's Law.
What was Kaluma doing on that one possession? I mean, that's when the game right there, that turned the whole, that was a 5-point turnaround right there because I think they came down and hit a 3 after that. We might have stopped. I don't remember, but he's backing his guy down right into Kalkbrenner. What are you doing? And then you turn it over. I just don't understand the things he does on the basketball floor. That ridiculous third foul he got. Had no chance of getting the rebound. I don't understand.
Yeah, 3 turnovers, 2 travels, and I think that offensive foul that he had as well. So,
right,
yeah,
and
that was rough.
Again, he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to do that. He had a mismatch. Why is he throwing that arm out there? God, I don't know if he's got NBA talent or not. It's not my gig. But I can't believe the NBA wants somebody that doesn't have a little bit better basketball sense. I'm sorry.
He has NBA intangibles. I wouldn't say that the on-court performance is quite there yet. I can't imagine scouts coming to really take a look at anyone on this Creighton team other than Kalkbrenner and maybe a flyer on Baylor in the second round. At this point,
Baylor's not going to get drafted.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get drafted. He's not very good on defense, really. And again, tonight, our defense was atrocious. Just atrocious at times. I mean, Bloom's going to come off a screen, and they brought Reef out there. Okay, Reef, the first shift, Reef played really good defense, I thought. Really bothered him. Second, he puts him in at that timeout, and that lost the game for us. That 6-point run at the end of the first half, that lost the game for us because we had control of the game until then. Reef comes in and just is so lazy getting around the screen, and he gets a wide open three.
There were multiple times guys went under and they shouldn't have.
I don't know what you're thinking right there. I just, the guy's going to get the ball. And like, we don't game plan against, who did we have to stop? We had to stop Boom, right?
Yep.
What did Sean Miller say in his huddle? 55, 55, 55. Guess what?
Yep.
They game planned and stopped him. But our team can't seem to stop the other key player on the other team. We just have a total unawareness. I don't know what it is. There's something not right. I've been reluctant to say anything. I've been reluctant to say anything for a while because I'm like, oh, just settle down, Tim. Things will turn around. I, we're gonna look back. We're gonna look back on this game. The BYU, the Arizona State games. Those games were right there for the taking, and we couldn't do it.
I would even put Texas in that same conversation.
That was a game though we just couldn't hit shots. I mean, we're hitting shots tonight.
Yeah.
There's nights where you just can't throw it in the ocean. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, BJB Instant Reaction at gmail.com. Send us an email. Get on board right now. What else did you think, Zach?
Oh, 1 second. I thought I'm just going to get it out of the way now. Unsung hero, Trey Alexander. Easy.
Really?
I thought so.
I don't know. I'll think about that a little bit.
I think this is a hard game to pick one guy for that. Nembhard didn't shoot very well. He made some timely baskets, and he had a lot of really good passes. Baylor, obviously player of the game. Kalkbrenner outplayed Fremantle by a mile, I'd say, in this one, which is a good turnaround from him getting basically, cradled like a baby by Adama Sanogo. But
yeah, it's all great. It's all great and dandy, but they can't
win
rebound.
The game. Yeah.
We got killed on the boards tonight. I mean, I don't understand how we can beat UConn on the boards and we get killed by this team on the board.
I don't understand the switch to a zone either. Really?
We didn't play much zone though.
Switched to zone after a couple threes and immediately gave up like 3 offensive rebounds. And that's with under 3 minutes left in the game. And then went back to it on the baseline out of bounds and got Kalkbrenner in a mismatch, and Colby Jones just drove straight past him.
Yeah. And part of that, we got out rebounded because Kaluma had to sit on the bench because he had 3 fouls in that stretch. Now, again, Farabello didn't give us much offensively. Hit 1 3, took another terrible 3. But I want to tell you what, he played good defense tonight.
He did play good defense. Yeah. He stayed in front of guys. Did he? I don't think he fouled. He was chasing guys around. He did a good job of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, can you put your finger on one thing? I can't.
They play well, and they play like Creighton teams you've seen, and then one possession the ball sticks, and then it's just downhill from there. I
didn't think it stuck as much tonight. I thought our ball movement was pretty good. I mean, I know Baylor had a mismatch there. I don't even know if it's a mismatch because Jones is pretty tough. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want that as our last shot.
No,
move the ball.
I didn't think so either. Yeah,
dump it inside to Kalk. Let's feed off play off of him.
Not to mention, a lot of Baylor's points tonight. That post fadeaway wasn't really working for him. It was his shots that were in motion when he was, shooting off the dribble, not backing a guy down, that were working for him.
Yeah. They made a good point though. Those 2 threes that he missed after his run, he was
fading to the right.
Off to the right.
Yeah.
So just incredibly disappointing. We will have Coach's Corner in a little bit. Coach Steve Murfeld will join us, and we can ask him a lot of questions. I think Murph's going to wish he wasn't on this one. I'm pretty heated on this one. And I know what I said. Win or lose tonight, schedule flips around in our favor. That is all still there. But when you see these things happen time and time again, I got up from my couch upstairs and started getting ready for the show with 5 minutes. My wife's like, wow, you are saying, I go, the game is over. I've seen this game too many times this year.
Yep.
Well, I heard her scream once, turned the TV on down here, and all of a sudden we made a comeback. But I can't put my finger on it. There's something. For a while, we kind of looked like the team that I envisioned tonight. looked like a team more in Maui. I didn't, our defense wasn't there. They're a tough matchup though. Golly, you know. I think Fremantle though, he's a good shooter. He's not a great shooter, but he kind of came back down to earth tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He only had 5 points, I think.
I didn't like that matchup at first, though, having Kalk and Fremantle. That's too hard for Kalk to have to go out
Yeah.
on him. You don't have to go out as much on Nunji because he doesn't look for his shot very much.
Yep.
Very capable to hit that shot, but he doesn't look for it as much.
And credit where credit is due to Sean Miller. He drilled his guys on hitting that floater because Kalk is going to drop. He's going to play that drop coverage, and they hit a lot of those tonight. So
I don't know if we practice that shot, but it sure looks like we don't.
Yeah. It looks like the only two who even attempt it are Nemhard and
I know guys don't do that right now, but just stop and take a 10-foot jump shot.
It's really only Nemhard and Trey doing that.
It's a really easy shot. Easy shot. Yeah, this one stings more than the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah,
stings way more than Arizona or Texas. Stings way more even than the Vegas games.
Yeah.
Stings obviously way more than UConn because the game wasn't as close. Just boggles me. It boggles me. Yeah, the reason I'm hesitant on Trey to your thing is I get so frustrated with him when he doesn't take his time on that little jumper.
Yeah.
He was rushing it in the first half.
And to your point on the last show, very first possession of the game, he gets the ball, he drives, he puts his head down. He had Kalk wide open on a lob. Very first play of the game. And I was like, that is exactly what Tim talked about.
He has his head down too much. And I thought at times Nemhard tried to force it a little bit. They after a while they figured out, what we were doing.
Yep.
We still got a few after that, but all right. Join us now. My partner for tonight, Jerry Lampe. Hey, Jerry.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not good, Jerry. I'm pretty heated over that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I felt like we played well. We just didn't get enough stops defensively. If you had to look at one stat too, is we got beat on the boards. I think
bad on the boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nunji had, I think, 8 offensive rebounds.
Yes. We got killed, especially that one possession where we got 3 stops and they got a rebound every time.
And that's where we went to zone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a negative thing about playing zone defense. We played it in high school, and it's you really have to concentrate rebounding because you're not guarding a guy, so you really have to find somebody quick when the shot goes up. And
leaves the weak side wide open.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there you go.
I like that he threw it out there, though. I mean, it kind of shakes up the other team. I was surprised he didn't do it sooner, actually.
Right. Yeah, it did get him out of it did kind of get Xavier out of the rhythm there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry, we just couldn't get a rebound.
I was just saying, Jerry, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've kind of kept my mouth shut, like, all right, it's going to turn around, relax. There's something just off on this team, and I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't either.
You feel that way too?
Yeah, it's just we can't get over I mean, we're at 1-6 in games decided by 5 points or less. I can't put my finger on it either. I don't know. We're 3-3 in the Big East, but UConn has 3 losses in the Big East too. So tonight was a great opportunity to get a huge win on the road, and that's kind of the disappointing thing.
Yeah,
it pretty much it makes Saturday pretty much a must win. Well,
I know that game was there for us. That was there for the taking.
Yep.
I mean, that was that was right there.
Yeah.
I just. And again, Jerry, before you jumped on, I mean, I'm talking about Kaluma. I mean, I'm sorry, he's not a very smart basketball player. That time he went one-on-one, tried to back his guy right into Kalk. What are you doing?
Yeah, he out of control there, right?
But he does that so much. And he doesn't have to shove off when he drives to the hole.
Yeah.
Most of the time, he's stronger and quicker than the guy guarding him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see the good Arthur at times, and he hits the boards and gets rebounds and plays great games. And he has games where, you can say his court IQ is not great at times. So,
Hey, we got Easton joining us. Hey, Easton.
Hey, how you doing?
Not good, Easton. Not good.
Yeah, me too. Before I get into the game, I think the big difference from this year's and last year's team is this year's team, for some reason, just can't find a way to win close games. I believe I've seen they're 1-5 currently in games 5 points or less.
Yep, and that was before this one, so they're 1-6
1-6,
now.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
a lot of that could have had to do probably.
I think that's really concerning.
Probably with Hawkins a lot because Hawkins was a winner.
Same with O'Connell.
Yeah, but more I think Hawk kind of brought that into the fold, I think, just because he won so many games and knew how to finish games. Yeah, I mean, that's probably an overlooked piece of losing him, we're kind of replacing him with Baylor, and a lot of good, a lot of bad both ways, but that's the one thing that Hawk had.
But the thing that confused me, Baylor won last year too, but he didn't
win. He's winning games by 25 points. Okay?
Ryan Hawkins lost 3 games in his entire college career coming into Creighton.
Yeah, I mean that's a big difference, and you can just tell Hawkins. Baylor's not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say Baylor's the problem, but I mean it's unfair because he's doing a hell of a job. It was great tonight. I mean, without him, sunk.
Yeah, this was his best game tonight. But I think the game boiled down to the obvious. Xavier got more from the bench, and we got 3 points.
Yep.
And
just the 3.
I mean, I don't see. I'm not big on that stat. I don't really care if starters score all, the bench scores 100. It doesn't really matter to me. I look more about quality. And plus, it's a little deceiving because Hunter comes off the bench a lot for them. He scores on everybody off the bench. So, I mean, he's not Farabello, so that part of it, I mean, could still win it. We could have still won this game playing 5 guys. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't. So.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. King being in there, it turned the game around. They once King went in, they would be
King doesn't play with the aggressiveness he played with earlier this year. Hey, Easton, thanks for the call. We got to get to Coach.
Yep, no problem.
All right, it's time for Coach's Corner. Join us tonight, Steve Murfeld. Hey, Coach. He's connecting here in a second. Give him 2 seconds to get hooked up. Jalen's helping him out, I think.
No, it's Coach Ziegler.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't see him.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Murph. Let's just get a brief comment from you first.
Well, hell of an effort. Really, really good college basketball game. They made one more play than we did, or maybe 2 more. But both teams, are very, very good and efficient offensively. And, we went to that zone and got them to miss and just couldn't come up with a rebound. And, give credit to them. They made plays. They made the free throws down the stretch that got them the win. So proud of our guys, but at the same time, it's the Big East, and you got to figure out a way to win these kind of games, especially on the road.
I'm going to get ahead of the mob here. I'm sure you practice the zone, obviously, but how much emphasis and stress is put on rebounding? Because that's the big deficit of the zone is it's tough to rebound out of a lot of times.
Well, in order for us to be successful, whether we're man, zone, transition, or whatever, we have to have 5 guys rebounding. And, their size, definitely, a couple of the rebounds, they went right over the top of us to get it. We were in position, but maybe didn't box out as good as we could have. But, yeah, it's an emphasis for this team because we're, man-to-man wise. And I think because we run, teams are not attacking the offensive glass. But obviously in the zone tonight, they did.
We get the turnover. We're down 2. What was the plan there on that possession?
Well, exactly what we did. I mean, Baylor got right to the paint, and you can't ask for anything better. He just lost the ball on the way up. I don't think there was a foul. I haven't seen the video, but that's what we wanted. We wanted to get to that point and let him make a play. He had been playing really well and had success doing that earlier, and just unfortunate that he lost the ball.
What this is probably a pretty tough question to answer, but I mean, what can you do to maybe turn, I know full well my football team, it doesn't really matter as long as you win close games,
Right.
And we're 1-6 right now. It seems like there's something just missing down the stretch. There's one or two things that go wrong every game right at the end, or missed assignment or missed play. I mean, what it's a job I'm sure you guys have thought about. What can you do to turn that around and that mentality around?
Well, and Max said it after the game, there's just a real fine line between winning and losing when you're playing, the top teams in the country. And that's where we're at right now. You said the last few minutes of the game, shoot, you can look back at, a play that happened with 10 minutes to go that a guy, lost his focus and, you end up losing by 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the case is. You can always look back and say, that was the play or this was the play. But you have to eliminate those, if you're going to win, especially on the road in an environment like this. You have to have everybody dialed in. And we had some few mental errors tonight that cost us.
I said this before you came on. I thought probably if you want to pin it on something, it was that last 2-3 minutes of the first half. We kind of had the game in control, let them go on a 6-0 run. All of a sudden, they're only one down going in the locker room.
Yeah. But again, Tim, you've been around college basketball long enough. It's a game of runs. You're right, though. I mean, we go up 7 and then they come down and boom, hits that 3. And then I can't exactly remember what happened after that, but certainly, yeah, that's a huge stretch. And, as we look back on it, I'm sure there's some mistakes that were made. Did we chase boom or did we shortcut it? Whatever the case may be. But those are the things you have to eliminate. But, when you have a 7-point cushion with a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go, you hope to protect that and go into halftime feeling good about it.
Yeah, it's just those first few minutes of going into the half and coming out are just so darn important in every game. I mean, all we need to do is look back to last year when we had a huge lead against these guys and they came out at halftime and, went on a big run.
Yeah, no doubt.
Baylor was really terrific tonight, though.
Yeah, we had a lot of guys really terrific. But I'm sure Baylor will be the first one to say, I wish I would have made that play. I wish I wouldn't have lost it there at the end. I mean, yeah, he was really good. I thought everybody had their moments, for sure. But that's, again, it's 1 or 2 possessions. And, usually the team that makes the least amount of mistakes wins close games, especially on the road.
So I've been hammering this for about 3 weeks now, so I guess I got to stick with it. Schedule really turns around now. We've got Xavier, UConn, and Marquette done on the road. We're all done. The top teams, we only have to go to Providence. We have them obviously at home Saturday. So schedule kind of flips around. We just need to take care of that home court, take care of it all the way through the season, and then take care of the teams in the bottom of the league, and we'll be just fine.
Well, I think that's, obviously you want to focus, on one game at a time, and certainly looking at Providence next. But we're just sitting here talking and said the exact same thing. You want to focus on the next game, but at the same time, you have to protect at home. You got to find a way to win, one of these tough road games against the upper half of the league. And we will. I still think we're still finding our way a little bit with Kalkbrenner. I'm not sure he's 100% back yet. The rest of the guys obviously playing a lot of minutes and we got 2 days. We'll get home late tonight. We got 2 days to prepare for Providence, and we need the crowd to be there. We need them to be loud. We need them to be excited to have these guys back home and ready to go on Saturday.
One last question, 9-8, I mean, look, in this day and age, it's hard to get away from it all, right? I mean, I'm sure the guys are looking at 9-8. A lot of fans are looking at 9-8. They're still dwelling on losing 6 in a row. They're still Their expectations were so high and so forth. How do you keep everybody together and just get them focused in the moment for like next Saturday?
Well, that's what this team has done, and when you face adversity like we did during that stretch where we lost 6 in a row against good competition, and some games maybe we shouldn't have lost. The loss of Ryan Kalkbrenner during that period, but as you know, adversity strikes at any time during the course of a season, and you have 2 things you can do. You can become better because of it, or you can sulk and point fingers and do those things. And our guys have not done that to this point. And as you mentioned, as the schedule turns a little bit to our favor, we just have to take care of business one at a time.
All right, Coach. Have a safe trip home. We'll see you Saturday.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All
thanks,
right. Thank you. Yeah. Bye now.
That's Coach's Corner. It's assistant coach Steve Murfeld joining us.
I think it's an important statement, Tim. I mean, I'm looking at the conference standings. The number 6 team in the country is 4-3 in the Big East. So, I mean, and UConn has kind of followed the same stretch as we have. They've got, their 3 losses came on the road against tough teams. They lost tonight at Marquette. So, I mean, the frustrating thing about tonight, though, it was an opportunity to get a big win, and that was the frustrating part.
Yeah, I just felt that tonight was so important. If we got this one, it's just going to catapult us into Saturday, and then here we go, right?
Yeah, that's what you wanted to happen, yeah.
Because we have a nice, we've got Butler. We have Butler, who's awful.
Right.
A place we never play well, but it's awful. And then we have like a week off till St. John's, so we have a little gap here.
Yeah.
A little window. And, that's what just would have been so huge to get that game tonight.
That would have been big. I felt a little bit disappointed. I don't know if you guys – I thought we played great in the first half, and to go in just one up is like, God, we should be up more than this. We played good. We were shooting 53% from the field. I think we made a great effort to take the ball inside. I forget what the stat was, but we were killing them in points in the paint. I like their game plan offensively. I think they're going to look back, though, and you're going to see some mental breakdowns offensively that we gave up some easy buckets. It's just going to make, I think, the coaching staff lose sleep. I thought, Frederick didn't play that much, but he was late on some closeouts, gave him some and ones that you look at, a close 1-possession ball game that really hurts. So
with him, I just don't know. When Kalk was out, he played with a lot of confidence. When Kalk comes back, he doesn't play with any confidence.
Yeah. Bad matchup, though. I don't, when he's got to play with guys like against Nunji and Fremantle, they can, shoot the outside shot, play away from the bucket. He really, struggles. So he struggled helping off ball screens too tonight. So,
but Jerry, that's why I kind of brought that up to Murph. And, he kind of side skirted. Well, there's runs. You got to be more mentally tough there.
Yep.
And I know, and to say this team isn't mentally tough is not true because out in Hawaii, they were mentally tough, right?
Yeah.
Mentally tough against Texas, when nothing was going right. They were hanging in there. We've seen them be mentally tough throughout the season at different points. So, but you got to be mentally tough at that point. You're up 7. You got to hold that when you're on the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you go down, up 5, gosh, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's just huge. And I know it's a game of runs, but you can't let them in because then they scored the opening basket of the half. Now they're in the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, granted, like you said, getting around after that, we, chipped away and took the lead eventually about 6-7 minutes in, I think. But golly, it just seemed like every time we got a 6-point lead, we just gave it back in a quick hurry tonight.
Yeah, we did. There was 2 or 3 times we kind of stretched it out to 6 or 7. And like I said, I think in the second half, I think Xavier went on a 13-2 run after we went up 7. So, yeah, we just couldn't, we couldn't quite match their toughness, I guess. So.
Yeah, I know on the message board, our fans are going crazy, and I think earlier today I put, how would you feel if you're a Kentucky fan?
Oh, yeah.
And then somebody goes, we've got to be the greatest disappointment for a preseason. No, that's not true. Indiana's getting their doors blown off by Penn State tonight. So we're not alone in this. Okay, it's like
it could be Texas, could be a Louisville fan.
Yeah, I mean Texas is getting blown up by TCU at home.
Oh, that's a disaster right now in that coaching situation, right?
Yeah, not to yeah.
I mean,
that's a whole nother
it's a whole different game,
yep.
right?
On a side note, to distract us from the train wreck we just saw, there was a guy at Rupp Arena last night holding a fan. Please go to Texas, holding a sign, and the usher came up, made him put it down, and so he put it down, and then another usher came up, the big security guy, and said, you gotta come with us, you gotta go, you gotta take. He goes, no, you're not gonna take my sign. Mm-hmm. And the guy, well, then you got to get out of here. And they were taking him out. And as they're taking him out, then they took his sign. And, they made a big deal about it.
Mm-hmm.
That seems a bit silly.
Yeah, I know it. I always thought it was silly. Remember we used to have the sign guy who was at the Civic? His signs were funny, and then they made him take them down. I always thought he was funny. I mean,
here's the issue with that is that I was 7 when they stopped doing games at the Civic, so I don't remember that.
I don't think he came to he might have come to CHI, but I know one thing people said, he helped to sign up, and then they couldn't see. So
yeah,
that's whatever.
Well, I even remember, I do remember there were signs at some point over sections in the upper bowl, like late 2000s. Does that sound right? Like they had signs that said or fans would bring signs that said bird nest and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Then hung them on.
Hung them over. Yeah, so it's not obstructing anyone's view or anything like that.
Right. What other thoughts you got tonight, Jerry?
Oh, like I said, it's just I guess we got to put this one behind us, and I guess we got to focus. We got Providence is undefeated in the Big East coming in on Saturday. I think we'll probably be favored. I mean, but it's a one we really need to win. So I don't think Providence has won a tough road game yet, have they? I mean, they beat UConn at home. They probably have some tough games left. So I don't think they can get COVID this year and skip those, can they? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have been allowed to last year either. But
yeah, I'm answering somebody on Twitter. Our friend Joel. He's going lesson 101. You don't schedule this hard. I get so furious at that take. It has nothing to do with scheduling. You found out you were going to Maui 3 years ago.
That stuff is years in advance.
So it's luck of the draw who you get there, right?
We've talked about this exact thing. We've talked about this exact
it's going to be a good tournament. Texas was the Big 12 Big East matchup. They didn't have
it's out of your that's out of the school's hands. And then I remember someone saying should have scheduled a cupcake after Texas. They did. They lost that game.
Yeah. And then the BYU game was a playback from last year. Or 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when they played up in Sioux Falls.
That was 2 years ago already?
No, that was last year.
Because Hawkins played in that one. I was going to say.
Right.
So that was last year. So that was a payback. That was already scheduled out. They were going to come up to Sioux Falls. We were going to go to Vegas. Okay. And then we couldn't be in our arena. So they scheduled another game. So this notion that this is all about scheduling, this had nothing to do with scheduling.
And we don't control the Big East schedule, do we? They pick they select the times and the dates for it. I mean, we have nothing to do with having to play Xavier and UConn on the road back to back. I mean, that's just the luck of the draw.
This is the big look at some years. This is like normal Big East. You play 4 or 5 top 20 teams in a row.
And not only that, Xavier wasn't projected to be this good coming into the season. So that kind of throws that whole argument for me out of the window.
What were they, top 4, weren't they? In the league?
I think so.
I don't even remember.
Providence was the one that nobody thought would be good. And Marquette. Marquette, I think, was like 8th or 9th.
Right. Yeah, because they were all new guys, right?
Right. So that's where the issue is.
I guess that bomb kid came from El Paso. I mean, it kind of been a surprise. That dude can score from all different angles. He can shoot the 3, but he's very creative inside. A lot of what we used to call my day playground shot, scoops and shoot it from all different angles and finds a way to get it in the hole. So
it is interesting to see some of these high mid majors and mid majors players come around and see, who fit in the best, who's a better player. I mean, obviously, I would say he's far and away the best fit on any team that came in. Not even close. Because he can really score and he's quick and Jared, that was I said, Reef game of the game, it really bothered him. Okay, but then he went out and then Mac put him back in right at the end of the half to guard him again, and then Reef lost him over a screen.
Mac was not happy. He pulled him quick and never saw the floor again. Yeah,
I know it.
Getting around the screen. Yeah.
Again, it's just that 30-second momentary lapse. Like Kaluma, like him, it happens every game to too many players out there. Yeah. I mean, it's just got to stop if we want to win games.
And I think, it's probably what Murph was bringing up. It could be a couple plays that happened right before halftime that, you made middle mistakes. It cost you 3 points, and it comes back to bite you in the butt at the end of the game. So, but Mac was not happy. Mac, I think Sharif just got in the game. He loses his guy, gets a wide open three, and then, I think Mac probably said you had one job. One job was to keep him from getting a wide open look. And yeah,
I know it. You got to just there's something off with this team. So that really puts me in a mode of thinking this is not going to happen the way I've kind of drawn it out to happen. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in it happening. I will say this: if he had Xavier minus 2.5, you were very thankful for those free throws at the end of the game.
Yeah. Is that what I thought? It was 3.5. I thought.
No, it went down to
2.5.
Right before game time. Yeah. And it looked like Creighton was going to cover that when Trey hit that three.
Right.
Then it was just It was just why do you have Baylor throw the ball in bounds? I guess he was a quarterback.
That I don't even think is my biggest issue with that play. It's that it was so rigid and how it was drawn up. Someone needed to come to that ball. As soon as Nunji gets on him, there's no way that ball is making it all the way down the court. He can't see over Nunji. He's a big dude. He can run the baseline, sure, but if no one's coming to him to meet him and get that ball, I understand that's not ideal, but it's better to have some shot over no shot.
That's where I'm not horribly opposed in that situation to bring a guy down and screen Nunji and run the baseline so you get a better look, I'm sure it's a play they practice, Mac doesn't usually do that, but it's just I don't know. Saturdays, like you said, it's all or nothing Saturday.
Yeah. We got to find a way to win.
I mean, I don't see a way with what we've got left. I don't see a way in the world we'd make the NCAA tournament if we lose Saturday. That sounds a little harsh, but boy, it'd be really tough.
That basically only leaves one way.
And
that would be winning the Big East tournament. That would be
right. That could happen, but gosh, at that point,
if we can beat UConn at home and Xavier at home, that would.
It could, but I mean, there's nothing that this team has shown me that says that that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, that win over Arkansas looks worse and worse every day. Arkansas looks terrible right now.
Yeah.
I mean, now Alabama's good, but they even haven't played very well, even against some mediocre teams. Yeah, we were close, but close doesn't cut it.
Right.
I'd rather be having the whole nation calling my football team lucky and be 13-4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Win all the close
better
games.
To be lucky than good, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I will say that is just ridiculous to even state that the Minnesota Vikings are not good. A lot
of people don't think so.
They're a very good football team.
And they'll probably lose Sunday, but that's just what it is.
Who do they okay.
Play Giants again.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so we're just calling it. I thought there was a lot of that wasn't a very good ref crew tonight.
I've got my
that
one.
wasn't a top flight Big East crew tonight.
My vote is the offensive foul on Bader before halftime when the guy tripped over his own feet. Bader didn't even extend the arm. That was Edwin Burrows that was Edwin Burrows being Edwin Burrows showing off for the crowd, calling a charge. There was no way you can even. I mean, yeah, the guy looked like the guy fell over, but Bader had no extension of the arm at all. I mean, the guy just tripped over his own feet, fell backwards, and yeah, I thought that was the word. And that was a momentum swing. I mean, that's kind of when the Bader, or that's when they made their little run, Xavier, and got to them one.
Yep.
So that was a horrible call.
It's a great nomination.
I have one that's a non-call. I thought Colby Jones got away with a pretty obvious moving screen on. Was that a Kunkel 3 in the first half?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Colby Jones
but
just hip checked.
They didn't call any. They didn't call any, and then the one they called was probably the weakest one of the night.
Yeah, that one was like a technicality moving screen. He extended beyond his area and just kind of stuck his elbow out a little bit, chicken winged it. But I guess they did call one on Kunkel when he was driving to the basket. That was a good call. Nemhard was guarding him, and he drove.
Yeah, Nemhard.
Oh, that was obvious.
Nemhard.
Oh, that was obvious.
Yeah,
right.
but that one around Nemhard's chasing. I don't remember if it was Kunkel or Boom around the baseline, and just basically stuck his hip out. Got him a wide open 3, and they nailed it.
Oh, we got upset alert in Houston?
I saw that it was getting closer.
1-point game. Oh, they're running back the highlights. Maybe the game's over. No, Houston took control. They're up by 10 now all of a sudden.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, they won. They won by 10. Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go. There's a team closing out. Well, they seem to play a lot of home games, don't they? Yeah,
I playing USF.
I'm torn. I had a couple more too, and now I lost my train of thought. I can't think of what they were, but I had a couple more bad ones too.
Well, I'm not gonna. There's nothing to really. I had the same thought. They were wildly inconsistent. Kalkbrenner, that foul on Fremantle at the end, that wasn't a foul either. He knocked the ball away, and then he went for the loose ball. I mean, it worked out fine. Fremantle missed the front end, but I didn't think that was a foul.
Oh, yeah. Kalk was kind of upset about that.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. he just got his hand on the ball, and then he was going for the ball again, but they called a foul as soon as he hit the ball. I don't.
There's another play that just drives me nuts. Trey Alexander in the first half, Boom gets by him. He's gone. Okay, he's gone. You're not going to do anything. He goes out there and fouls him. Now, you could say he stuck his leg out. Yeah, okay, he did.
That's his natural shooting motion, though. I was watching that a lot.
He does shoot. He does stick his legs out. That's his normal.
It's every time he shoots. So they can't technically call a foul on that if it's a normal shooting motion, or they can't. If it's his normal shooting motion, it's a foul if they run into him like that.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you think that's a little unfair?
I mean, it is, but you also have to adjust for something like that.
Jump straight up and down. I've seen refs just not call it.
Right.
They specifically had to change that rule. You don't watch the NBA, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Right. Hey, let's talk about our sponsors. Equitable Bank, proudly serving Nebraska since 1882. Two great locations. One on 204th and Elkhorn. The other one just north of Keating headquarters. Stop in, and see Doug Naugard, president of Equitable Bank. Staff is friendly. They do answer the phone on the first ring. Terrific banking products, so check them out. Make them your bank of choice. Another person you should make your dentist of choice is West Pacific Dental Group, Dr. Robert Hogan. The personalized staff provide you the dental care you need to get back on track, so check them out, 402-697-0765. And then Infusion Brewery. Saturday, I want people to be out there drinking a lot of these before the game. I know it's early, but just start pounding them about 9 a.m. All right? Get fired up. Be loud. we got to do something to get this team going.
Is that a noon game?
1
It's a
o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay, got it.
It's close to a sellout. I mean, I see some things. They've got 200 tickets left or something. So.
Well, it's a pink out game, which is highly.
No, it's not. Pink out's Xavier.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. What was I thinking? That's like a 1 o'clock. No, that's like 11 o'clock game.
11:15, kind of odd.
Yee.
The weather's supposed to be nice Saturday. It's supposed to be 50 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be,
So at any rate,
Yeah,
get there early, start pounding the letter flies, and all the other great infusion products they have. Check them out. Look them up, infusionbrewing.com. Look them up. Go down to their shop down south, right off the interstate there in Papillion and La Vista, and check out their great line of product. It's outstanding. Well, which call was worse?
I'll still say the Bader call. I don't like flops. I don't like that. I mean, it takes a possession away from Creighton. I mean, the foul on Coughlin, you said it. I mean, but that was a big key turning point in the game. And I don't like when they call charges because the guy falls backwards. I hate that calling basketball. Falling backwards does not mean you should call a charge.
Kevin just got crossed up. He just got crossed up.
Even Raph said he initiated the contact.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So, all right, and then you want Trey Alexander? Yeah. See, that's
I changed my mind thinking about the game. Going back, I'm going Kalkbrenner.
He can't be unsung hero. He's one of the heroes.
For this reason alone, he had 4 assists.
Yeah. No. Unsung is somebody way down, and I know our bench is so short right now. You don't have a lot to pick from, or the starting lineup. I'm picking Francisco Farabello.
He did hit that one. A bad one. And he created a turnover.
Yep.
He played really good defense tonight.
Yep. He's good when he doesn't have guys just straight up attacking him, and he can just chase guys on screens. He's really, really good following guys on screens.
Oh, he's got to get better at sticking his nose in there and getting rebounds.
Yep.
He really got to get better at that. They're just showing the highlights the end of the game here on ESPN.
I'm cool not watching that again.
Boom threw a couple of tough ones up there too. That one floater that banked off.
One thing I thought was interesting, Baylor said interviewed him after the game, he did say that we haven't shot the ball well the last game or two, and the fans are letting us know about it. So he must be reading social media. And I see stuff on social media. This team sucks, they can't shoot, the shot quality stat. So I thought that was interesting. He made that comment because he could only get that information from by looking at social media.
Sure.
And here's an idea for everyone listening. Don't tweet at kids.
Exactly. I hate that. I hate tweeting,
tweeting kids.
A lot of these guys are probably, never probably even made their 8th grade basketball team. They're sitting back and making comments like that again. And then they wonder why kids transfer. Like, oh, what do you it blows my mind when guys tweet at college. It's just, I think it's disgusting.
Well, there's one thing tweeting at them. Then there's just the players reading Twitter. When guys are just like, man, this team can't shoot. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Right.
I get that. I was just saying as a general rule of thumb.
I think they get a fair amount of it from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you and I have both talked about it. We've seen certain people just straight up.
Oh, sure.
And
people making just outlet, like to say, wow, I don't think this team is a good shooting team. Okay, I kind of disagree with that, but that's a legitimate point. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? What I don't like is people who just make these outlandish
this player sucks.
That
yeah.
Max lost the locker room.
Max should be fired.
Max lost the locker room. What? How do you know that?
Yeah.
I mean,
because they watched a game. Can't you tell?
Right. Yeah.
The other interesting
psychologist.
Thing is, so over on Blue Jay Banner. By the way, if you're not a member, excuse me, BlueJayBanner.com. I'm going to go back to the doctor, Zach. I'm going back, man.
you can't get
it's just not getting better.
Yeah, just
become a member of BlueJayBanner.com. It's very, very inexpensive, and you will have the time of your life if you're a Jays fan. Plus, you have all kinds of perks as well. One of those perks, my point was going to mention is, there's certain times of the year we have gatherings, and every time I have a gathering, 3 or 4 guys I know show up, and nobody else from the board shows up. They're the guys who are all yapping all year long. I'm like, well, show up so we can meet you and have a nice discussion,
Yeah.
Listen,
Now,
this is
they don't want
even
to do that.
1
They don't want
degree.
to show their face. They want to be behind the keyboard.
Yeah,
Right.
this show is even 1 degree removed from that. They can come on and air those grievances if they
Right.
want to. It's not like we make
Exactly.
it hard to find.
You guys are a bunch of chickens. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
Easton is a loyal
Yep.
caller. He
Yep.
calls in almost every game. He gives some good viewpoints. He's got to learn timing a little bit to come in after coach.
Yeah.
Okay. Schmitty's done Mike's called in
I will.
several
I
times.
will. I will
Every
take the
game.
blame on that too. I send those out too early sometimes.
What's that?
The links when I get the emails.
Oh, well, whatever. These guys just gotta come on the show, man. We'd love to have some feedback from people.
Right.
We
We
kinda-
know there's frustration out there. I
Yeah.
mean, this team was ranked in the top 10, probably a little bit, and we're 9-8. So people are disappointed, air it out. I mean, air it out. Let's have some, but don't just make stupid ass comments. I mean, that's what I hate. Well, Max should be fired,
Well,
This
no,
guy
I don't.
should be benched. Yeah.
I don't even care if they come on here and say that.
Right.
Yeah. Then we can at least respond to them and
Right.
say, well, why do you think that?
Yeah.
And kind of pinpoint their point rather than guys going on Twitter and putting it in, then they never answer it. But, it's just ridiculous.
And it's not uncommon. I'm sure Villanova fans are frustrated right now. I mean,
There's another team I was going to bring up.
they're
Thanks,
they're
Jerry.
struggling. Yeah, they're struggling.
They
I mean,
just lost to DePaul for the first time since 2008.
yeah, that was
They beat them 24 times in a row, I think, something like that.
22.
22. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up earlier when we were talking about the Big East. So, 2 things at play here. Number 1, we're going to call them the Big 5, okay?
Mhm.
None of the Big 5 have lost at home. None of them have lost to the bottom feeders.
Mhm.
Okay? So I think going forward, that's the thing to watch.
Yep.
Does anybody lose at home? And does anybody lose to Villanova, DePaul, Butler, one of those teams?
Right.
So far, it's been all clean.
Mhm.
Because I'm not counting Villanova. And they're
No.
in the bottom feeders.
Mhm.
So far, it's been all clean. So
I guess
probably the biggest opportunity for somebody to get a road win will be Saturday with Providence coming here.
I still think it's going to be a dogfight, those top 5, Tim. I know Xavier and Providence are undefeated, but they haven't played we're going to see, I see how Providence reacts on the road in a tough, hopefully a tough.
Xavier's had everything Xavier's had everything at home too.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I still think it's going to be a dogfight in the top 5. I mean, I said UConn sitting there at 3 losses too. So,
And this is just me, just my prejudice. I just don't trust Shaka. He's gotten off to these big starts before, and they hit middle of the road, and they just tanked. And I would not be shocked to see this team do the same thing. I'm not worried about them at all. They may go on to win the conference and prove me wrong, but I'm not worried about them. Providence, let's see what happens here. The worst thing that happened for Providence was they got momentum and got confidence, for the worst thing for the rest of the league. That was the worst thing. But Xavier's really strong. I don't know, having played UConn and Xavier now back-to-back, if you said, okay, who would you want to play a 3-game series with? 1 neutral, 1 home, 1 road. God, that's a tough question. Because I think in a lot of ways, Xavier's a tougher matchup for us anyway. Because those 2 bigs can step out. Where we have more traditional big with Sonogo, although, he ate Kalk's lunch last time. At least we can kind of play our traditional spot. You know what I mean? Like we can put Kaluma on Jackson and go that route, or on Caravan. I mean, Baylor can guard Jackson because he doesn't penetrate anyway, or doesn't shoot from the outside, I should say anyway. But all he does is penetrate, so Baylor can work off that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Sorry, I had to send someone the link really quick.
I don't know. What's weird? Like Sinaga tonight only had 10 points, had like 5 turnovers. When he got the ball, Marquette.
Yeah, they're not particularly big either at Marquette.
When I was kind of watching the game on the side, and he didn't play a ton of minutes. Every time I looked up, he was on the bench. That tall white kid was in there.
Might have been
only 19 minutes. Only 19 minutes.
Might have been a matchup problem.
Yeah, 5 turnovers. I didn't see the fouls, but yeah, he went 5 for 7. Only had 3 rebounds. But but I just saw some highlights when he got the ball. Man, Marquette was on him, and he put it on every time he dribbled. They stole it. They knocked it away. So,
well, who would you rather play, Jerry, in a 3-game series? Xavier or
I'll say Xavier, just because I mean. But yeah, we played well tonight. We still got beat. I didn't think we shot the ball well against UConn. I don't know.
If we'd have played this way against UConn, I think we'd have won.
I would say maybe get UConn back again. Maybe if we do a little bit, if we send help on Sinaga. I mean, he scored 29 against us, only 10 against Marquette. Again, I didn't see a lot of that game, but every time I looked up, Sinaga was on the bench or he was getting it stolen from him down low. So. I don't know. Maybe UConn. Let's say UConn.
I'll play UConn.
Sean Miller's a good coach. I mean, you don't think coaching makes a difference? You talk this team list year from last year. Wow,
Steele was awful.
Yeah, he was terrible.
They still beat us twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awful. He's down in Miami now.
They're horrible, and they're horrible this year. Horrible.
Well, they're going to get worse.
Yep.
Yeah, no question. Sean Miller is so impressive.
No,
now if Hurley can control his temper,
yeah,
then Hurley's pretty much right there with him. But the thing is, Hurley usually costs his team 3-4 points a game.
Yeah.
2
well-mannered, though. I thought he was well-mannered.
2 others where the refs just get frustrated with him.
Oh yeah, he was well-mannered to Creighton. I mean, he was, he didn't have any major
very calm down.
Very
calm down.
And maybe he had maybe he looked in the mirror and, he cost him that one game when he had that technical. I mean, that was was a momentum game. Was that against Xavier? He had that technical?
Yep.
Yeah. Just you don't get a technical in a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go in the game. It totally
turned the game around.
Right. So dumb.
All right. Hey, we do have someone here to join in. Here is Ed. Hey, Ed, welcome to the show.
Hey, Tim, thanks. Appreciate you, Zach. Thanks for sending me the link. I'm sorry I had the old one.
No,
I think, look, Creighton fans want to try to panic. You played a great Marquette team on the road, you lost. You played a great UConn team on the road, you lost. You played a great Xavier team on the road, you lost. I mean, that's going to happen in the Big East. There's no reason to, we thought that this team was going to be, a top 10 team, and they're not that, okay? But there's no reason to panic right now to see what happens. And, Mac probably got out coached tonight, I think, leaving some guys open that made shots. And that's always been my biggest issue with Mac is he plays the percentages and, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And tonight, guys made shots that don't normally make shots. But
I would say this though. Hunter only made 1, and that was his first one all year.
Yeah.
So he's a guy you want to leave wide open out there. He's not gonna do it. Nungy's very capable 3-point shooter, and they know that they just had to give away something if they were going to give that away. And I think he only got loose once for a big shot. Fremantle, Matt got pretty upset that Kalk didn't get out on Fremantle in that first 5-minute possession there. Ed, do you think? Let me ask you this question. We've had a couple of questions here, so let me ask you. Number one, do you think there's something just a little bit off on this team? Like, can't put your finger on it. Like,
Tim, I can put my finger on it exactly, and I've said it in Twitter and whatever. There is not a killer on this team. I've said it many times. Where's Marcus Foster? Marcus Foster is not walking through the door. Where's Marcus Zagorowski? Where's the guy that's just going to put up a shot? And look, I'm not disparaging Baylor tonight. He was that guy. He took some shots out of the offense. But this is the thing about the MAC offense, and I love it. It works when it works. It's great. But when it doesn't work, you need a dude that steps up and takes a shot out of the offense and just makes it. And other teams do that against our team all the time. So who is that guy that's going to take the shot out of the offense? Who is the guy? And Ryan's not been making the shots. R2's not been making the shots out of the – who is the guy that's going to step up and take over the game out of the offense? I don't know who that is. And that's the thing that's missing. And I think that is obvious to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think you're off on that. I mean, you mentioned Marcus Foster and Marcus Zagorowski. Obviously, they were big time players. But Marcus Zagorowski played on a team with a lot of stars on it, right? So
sure.
But I think the guy I would look to for that, is Trey. But he's been very inconsistent.
He has been, and everybody said that Trey was going to take over. And I don't blame Trey, because I think that, and I don't know, I'm not in the huddle, I'm not in practice, I don't know what Mac's saying, and I don't disparage Mac at all. Like, I don't think that he needs to be fired or there's anything wrong with him. I think these people are crazy that think that. But, when you see guys passing, look, this game, not as much as the previous game, you saw guys, and even Max said it in the pregame, guys passing up open threes, open shots to get a better shot, and it doesn't happen. The shot doesn't happen. And that's my question, is what is within the offense and what are guys allowed to do? And that's my biggest question is, can guys take shots? Are they comfortable? Do they feel comfortable taking shots out of this offense? And I don't see it. And that's why that's my comment. And the Trey comment is very good, Tim, because, guys don't just take shots when they think they can take over the game. And I'm wondering if they feel constricted by the offense.
Yeah, and sometimes I think we always try and rub Trey off a screen and so forth. That's all fine and dandy. Once in a while, I like to see him just clear out. Let him do what he can do,
He does good things, right? And
yep.
he makes really difficult shots. And you saw tonight on that last shot, that shot was contested, not in the offense. He had to take it. He made it, and he can do that.
Right. Yeah.
So at some point in time, yes, the offense is about finding a better shot, about movement, and I think it's great. I don't want to disparage it. But at some point, it's college basketball. You got to have guys take over and be able to make shots outside of the offense. And that's what I worry a little bit about. I don't see it as much as I'd like to.
So you have not given up yet.
Oh, no, come on. This team is great. This team, look, what are they, 25 in the net? You do this bracketology thing. Are they 25 in the net or something? They're going to make the tournament.
Now.
Whatever. They're gonna beat teams that they're not supposed to beat in the tournament when they get this sorted out. It's about matchups. I think that, look, I'm just kind of like trying to baby step it till we get to the Big East tournament and to the NCAA tournament, because I think, if they get a good seed, if they get good matchups, they can still go far. I'm not worried, really.
Would you be worried if they lost Saturday?
Well, I'm flying to Omaha to watch the game on Saturday, so I'm going to be really upset if I fly all the way to Omaha to watch the game on Saturday and they lose. So yeah, I'm going to be pretty upset if they lose to Providence on Saturday, especially since I'm making the trip there to see them. But I don't think they're going to lose that game. I really don't. Providence doesn't worry me. Honestly, Xavier didn't worry me tonight. I can't believe the amount of offensive rebounds that were given up at the end of the game to guys that weigh less than me. So I'm really surprised by that, but I don't know if that's an effort thing. I'd be interested to hear Mac talk about it maybe next week. If it was effort, if it was scheme, But, you guys all saw the lack of offensive rebounds, the lack of defensive rebounds in that case, and the amount of offensive rebounds that Xavier got tonight compared to what happened last week in Connecticut.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ed, here's the deal. I'm gonna throw somebody a plug out here. I've started to kind of get in the groove of going to the Hilton, because you can park in the ramp for $10, and then you can walk. You can walk on the walkway over. You don't even have to walk outside to go to the game. So if you're not doing anything, stop by. I'll be there. I'll buy you a beer.
I will stop by there, Tim. I would love to. My old man, he's been a season ticket holder since the Rick Johnson era.
Nice.
So when these guys complain about, Creighton being bad, 1990s, when I was in high school, we watched some really bad teams. So I will absolutely come over there and have a drink with you.
All right. Well, look me up.
I will not trade this for that any day.
That's true. That's true. All right, Ed, thanks so much.
Thanks again, guys.
Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger.
See you Saturday.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Great call by Ed. That was outstanding. I don't know if I've told this story on Blue Jay Banner before, but I will, since he brought up the Rick Johnson era. I got a good friend who was I believe, basketball J-backer of the year or something back in the Rick Johnson era, because he knew Rick well and went to everything. He told me for the coaches' luncheon, they used to go in the teeny tiny bar in Anthony's. I think it was Anthony's. I'm not sure. But he goes, there were 10 people there for the coaches' luncheon.
Wow.
At one point.
And he goes, oh, prizes? You get the best damn prizes, and everybody got a prize. It was great.
That was wasn't the entire athletic department kind of a disaster around that time? Am I remembering a different time? Like when they wanted to cut soccer?
Well, you were just coming off of the baseball thing. Henry's run. That was right before that, a few years before that. I don't recall. I wasn't living here at the time, so I can't really say.
I wasn't living at all, so
I was in Missouri at the time, right? I missed that era.
Thankfully.
Yep. Interesting. Wherever Ed lives at, he's flying in for the game. So.
Oh, nice. Well, I'll find out Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. So we had the year after Doug was bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Foster
we had some NIT years, but I mean, they weren't horrible, right? I mean, we usually won an NIT game or two, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that would have been that year, would have been Dana's last year here, right? That was pretty bad.
That was kind of a disaster. The P. Allen blow up, and
that was kind of bad.
We won one or two games, and the actually
did
played CBI games in the
they were CBI games. They weren't even NIT games, so that was pretty bad.
That was when they played back at the Civic, right?
No, they were at CHI.
They were CHI, but I think
for the CBI something was going on, so they had to play a game back at the Civic.
Right.
Oh, but that year we had a decent team though. No, I remember that year. No, that year we were I think that's the year we went to the finals, actually.
No. That was a different. That was
Booker Woodfox's senior year. That was 08-09.
Yeah. The year we went to the CBI finals, that was Doug's freshman year.
No.
How many of those tournaments were there? How
many? Oh yeah, you're right, Jerry.
I'm right. I remember we opened up with Davidson at home.
I kept thinking Dana was here, but no, Dana was at Oregon. Yeah.
Dana's last year was CBI. I think he went to Arkansas and came back.
Right.
You're
right.
We played Ed Cooley was the coach at Hartford, and
that's what I was gonna say. We played him at the Civic.
Right.
Yes. That's when. Yes.
That's when P. Allen showed up. Remember his "I Love Me"?
Yeah, that was the "I Love Me" game.
Game. And then
that was the year.
Yeah,
we went to the finals then. So I was wrong.
No. That was 1 year prior.
1 year. That was 1 year prior because Mac's first year we got to the CBI finals because remember Antoine Young was the point guard and they had that
stepped on the half court
at Oregon. Yep. You couldn't see the half court line.
But that was the year. Remember we played and kind of slow down. We got beat at St. Louis by Quanzo Martin's Missouri State team. It was like a 50-42 game. And then like Mac, all of a sudden the CBI is like, hey, let's just run and gun and let it fly and play it in tempo. And we made a run all the way to the CBI. And from then on, we've kind of been the let it fly team. So
played you and I the first game. And actually, I think against Missouri State, we were ahead at halftime of that semifinal game.
That was ugly. That was I mean, we were limited offensively too, Doug's freshman year, and that was just an ugly game.
Kenny Lawson was kind of our offensive star.
Offensive power, right? You know, and it was like, I think, like, okay, we didn't make the NIT, so we make the CBI, and Mac, and they played Davis in the first game, and Mac just like, hey, let's just go out and have fun, run up and down the court. We won like a 102 to 90 something. It was kind of like
there was like 6,000 people there. Yeah. I was sitting next to Travis Justice at that game.
The great thing about the CBI game, you could sit right in the front row. I mean, I remember sitting right behind the basket. It was fun. I never get those seats, you know. They're always corporate seats.
I remember they thought Michael Jordan was going to be there because we were playing
yes.
Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the year we got to the finals. They had that best of 3, and we lost the final game, I think, at Oregon when Antoine Young was dribbling. He couldn't see the half court and had
stepped way over the half court line. But anyway, yeah. But I mean, okay, so it was after your Doug and then that last year. But I mean, think about it. It's been 30 years since we've had a bad team. It's probably been 30 years since we've been 500 at this stage of the season, don't you think?
Yeah, been a while.
How long?
Oh, maybe 25 years. No, Rick Johnson was 86. So, yeah. So,
are you saying besides 14-15?
Yeah. So, it's probably been 25 years. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
because Rodney's like junior year or sophomore year. Junior or sophomore year, they went to the NIT that year. So they had to have a decent record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or no, that would have been Rodney's. I don't know. I get my years mixed up.
God. Was he 96 to 2000?
We got a Google machine. Could look it up, I guess.
True. 95 to 99. Yep, 95 to 99. He played for Creighton.
Okay. Yeah, so then, he would have been 98, he had that Louisville game where he hit the big shot.
Yep, in the NCAA tournament. Yep. Was that 98?
Boy, I'll tell you in a second here.
All right.
What year was it when Creighton played Florida and they beat Florida in
2002?
That's kind of when I guess I moved here in 97, so it was kind of when I started following Creighton, I guess. And I remember that game, and
Yep, that one.
No, so that was 99 because 98, 99. I'm sorry, 97, 98. They played the NIT.
Okay.
Okay. So then the following year,
it was the 1999 NCAA tournament where
98, 99 is when they beat Louisville.
Okay.
All right. And then the following year, let's see, so that'd be 99, 2000.
That was Korver's freshman year?
That's when we played. Yeah, so that was Korver's freshman year. That's when we played Auburn up in the Metrodome. First round.
Okay.
We were down 9 with 25 seconds left in the game. We were down 9. And then with 10 seconds left, we had the ball down 3. Had the ball down 3 on our end. One of the most. Do you remember that, Jerry, watching that at all?
No.
So Auburn, I'll tell the story real quick, and then we'll get out of here. So
That wasn't Barkley. Barkley went at Auburn.
No.
No.
Ellis was their coach. Okay.
Oh, DACA.
So they had a pretty good team. Okay. So Creighton was down most of the game. They made a nice run. Brought Justin Haynes in off the bench. They put Corver on the bench. They brought Justin Haynes in. He went off, hit some threes. And then so they're down 9, right? So Sears comes down. It was Ryan Sears and Walker. They were fresh. Corver would have been a freshman. So they were like juniors, I think. Anyway, they came down. Sears comes down, hits a 3. Okay. So now there's 6. They're down 6. They get let me back up. They're down 9. Okay. Auburn was really injured. They had like 10 guys. So one of the guys dressing up was the student manager. So he's up 9 with like 25 seconds left. Ellis puts him in. He just goes, don't take the ball out of bounds. If you get a chance, don't take it out of bounds. Run away. Okay. So Sears hits the 3. So what does the student manager do? What do you think he does?
Grabs the ball underneath the bucket.
Grabs the ball underneath the basket and throws it away. Pharrell Taylor grabs it, does a pump fake. A guy falls down at his feet like he's standing on the 3-point line. The guy's laying on the floor in front of him. He jumps up, swish. Now, the next game after that game was Iowa State. So the whole place is filled with Iowa State fans. They're going nuts because they think they're going to be able to play 11 seed Creighton, right? So the guy, another player then inbound, grabs the ball and is looking, throws it. Nobody touches it. It goes all the way to the other end out of bounds. So now Creighton gets it on their own with like 9 seconds, and Ben Walker put up a 3 that was a closely guarded 3, but it hit the rim. It was close to going in, but it was just an unbelievable comeback in the last 23 seconds.
Don't remember that one. Yeah.
And I remember Creighton covered the game, by the way.
That I'm not surprised by.
Down memory lane. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we veered off. We had to do something to kind of cheer ourselves up, right?
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Could be worse. Could be worse. Right.
Saturday, 1:00 tip. Be there. Don't come at 1:02. Be there at 12:50. I'd prefer you be there at 11:30. Start drinking these Let It Flies right here from Infusion Brewery. All right. Then afterwards, we'll have the show about 4:00 maybe.
Okay.
Right after the NFL game kicks off, so we kind of give play-by-play of that, and hopefully break down a Creighton victory.
Sounds good to me.
I do think we're gonna like the inside presence we have against. We're gonna have an inside presence against Providence. That's the big thing. And I don't know, is their guard still hurt? I'm gonna check that. Their guard got injured in the last game, 2 games ago. He didn't play the last game. Got like a rib injury. He had an injury and then he got banged. So Byron.
Bynum.
So we'll have to see if he's going to play. If he didn't play, that's a huge break.
Oh yeah,
huge break. So, all right. Texas making a big comeback, only down 4. So turn on the game and watch that. All right.
So see you Saturday.
We'll see you Saturday. Thanks everybody for listening. Make sure to hit the subscribe button.